Hi everyone, in this video we're going to be talking to you about visible learning. Visible learning is when educators become evaluators of their own teaching. So teachers start to see the learning through the eyes of their students. In short and in basic terms, it's the ability to make the learning visible to all students to ensure they're always able to succeed.
So basically, when we start teaching visible learning at school, we break it up into three different sort of areas, which are a Walt, a Wilf and a Waggle. So just to start, I'll talk about a Walt. And what Walt means is we are learning to. So all the starting sounds of each of those words is what makes up the Walt. So we are learning to. It's all about really emphasising to the students what it is they need to do and making them aware of, okay, well, this is what I'm doing today, and if I do this, hopefully I succeed.
The next one is Wilf. This stands for what I'm looking for. So when discussing the area, this is when we need to explain to the students what it is we're looking to see them do in really clear detail, usually step by step, giving them clear expectations and outcomes of what they're going to do in that activity that day.
Alright, and the last step is called a Waggle. So some students like to think of it like a wag, but it stands for what a good one looks like. So this is making sure that they know exactly that this is, if I do this, I'm going to achieve it and I'm going to succeed. You might want to show them an example and say, okay, so this is what it should look like, or show them a demonstration, this is what I should be seeing, and then they can go, awesome, I know what I'm meant to be doing. And if they can, you get to celebrate.
And when you're doing a Waggle, depending on where your child's at in their learning, you might want to give them a really clear example of what they're going to do. If your child is a little bit further along in their learning, you might want to be careful with what you give them, because there is always the risk that they're going to use that as an influence for their own idea. So when I'm doing science, for example, if I'm doing the life cycle of a butterfly, I might show them the life cycle of an ant. They get the structure, they get the setup, but I'm not giving them the answer, just something to be aware of.
Alright, so in literacy, a Walt, so we are learning to, may be to answer who, what and where questions. Your Wilfred might look like telling your student that what I'm looking for is that you can answer a simple question when it has a who, when it has a what, and when it has a where. They're just going to be simple, direct questions. Your Waggle would be explaining to your child or to your student that they can succeed in this if they can answer the question directly and if it's providing the answer that actually relates back to the question. So I might say, who is in that book? And they might tell me a character that's not in there. It might be in a different book that they've read. Well, it's not going to be giving a Waggle as such because they haven't succeeded in that aspect.
In another learning area, so science for example, if you're doing the senses, we are learning to might be we're going to learn to know what the sense of smell is, what part of the body we use to use the sense of smell, and words around how to describe different smells. The Wilf, what you're looking for from them might be that they'll have a go at smelling different things, that they'll verbally or with a communication device select language that they think suits that type of smell. And for what a good one looks like, you might have to do a little bit of a sorting activity where they categorize into good or bad smells, or sweet or sour, different kind of categorizing, sort of some evidence of their success. In summary, this is just a strategy that you can use to support the structuring of your activities with your child. It's just giving them a little bit of clarity, and we're also looking at promoting some language around education so they know that they're actively learners. We want our students to see themselves as learners or as literate people or as scientists, and by doing this we're giving them the language and structuring things to allow them to do that to the best of their ability. Done. Yeah?
Let's check.